join a tournament, right? And only people from a certain city can join that tournament. Same thing. City can be private, but you can still prove without exposing to the world what city you're from and enter the tournament. Like,
hello everyone, welcome to the channel again. It's Charles here, your host, and I'm with Barak today. So he's done a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to let him introduce himself. So Barak, why don't you introduce yourself?
thanks for having me, Charles. Baraka here with the Midnight Night Force program. I'm a Night Force leader for Kenya. That just means I get to plan events, do a lot of stuff, help you guys answer questions. I also am president at the Blockchain Center here in Kilimani, a event space for emerging technology, AI, blockchain, and all kinds of events.
Interesting. So you've done a lot and you're doing a lot. So I'm curious, what's blockchain to you?
Oh, great question. What is blockchain to me? I will probably have to say it's
Avoid the technical terms.
it's
the
just
tricky part.
it's just a new, very secure, very safe way to store data. I mean, everything about us in our world these days run on data, but the way we store data right now, it's controlled by companies or governments. It's easy to be hacked. Blockchain is trying to fix all of that.
Interesting. So you said you're the leader of Kenya, of Midnight Network in Kenya.
Yes, Night Force leader. Midnight has a program called Midnight Night Force that you can join. It starts at Recruit, Alpha. You can apply to be a leader. So I'm the leader, the current leader for Kenya.
What's Midnight Network?
Midnight Network is a new kind of blockchain. It's trying to bring about the internet of blockchain. Most blockchains right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, they all force you, Monero, they force you to either be completely transparent and public or completely opaque, where everything is hidden and no one can see anything. That doesn't work. The businesses like hospitals, government agencies, municipalities, they want to, first of all, be able to audit data, transaction, especially financial transaction, which a blockchain tends to be used for a lot of financial services, and government wants to audit that. So if it's completely opaque, that doesn't work. Now, on the other side, there are data that needs to be private, like medical records, tax records. Some of those things in some countries, they have to be private. So you can't put them on the transparent blockchains like Cardano or Ethereum or Solana. So Midnight is pioneering this concept of rational privacy, which means it's a blockchain network that's explicitly there to provide rational privacy and selective disclosure in English. That just means privacy by default, but if some data needs to be public, you can flip the switch just on that piece of data, so that you can build both applications that are partially private, partially public. So, and then it's trying to do it in a way that you don't have to really change the blockchain that your application runs on. You can just build your app. When you want privacy, you reach out to Midnight, you add privacy, and then you get back to run your app.
So I've heard you talk a lot about two things, which is privacy and institutions. So let me ask you a question. In Kenya right now, give me an example of these two primitives being employed. I want to see a situation whereby an institution is using a midnight network in the ways that you've envisioned? What does adoption look like in short, a midnight network to you in Kenya?
Midnight is brand new. In fact, Midnight tends to give itself this, call it title, or I don't know what you would call it, but we tend to say we are the fourth generation blockchain.
Fourth generation.
Fourth generation.
Okay.
So you have first generation is digital money. You have second generation smart contracts and that stuff on Ethereum. You have third generation where now you could have smart contracts, digital money at fraction of the cost. So like energy savings and those kinds of things like Cardano, Sui, those networks are included in the third generation. Now you have this fourth generation, which Midnight is pioneering around this rational privacy thing and selective disclosure, where you can say, hey, I want this public, this private, this shielded, this unshielded, right? Privacy first. So it's brand new. We launched, it's been 2 months now since mainnet. So adoption is just starting. That's why I'm here in Kenya, to help people learn about Midnight and how they can adopt it into their businesses. There is a product that's coming in the Ethiopia market that is going to use Midnight. It's normal banking loan services. If you need to buy a refrigerator or a car, or tap up your money to buy a car, you will be able to go to these lenders and get incredible rates. Most banks right now tends to charge 18 to 26% interest rate. Think 9%, 10%, 12% interest rate. But you won't even know this. And this is one of the beauty of Midnight, just being there for people to use it and pull it into their existing infrastructure. But that bank, when they collect all your data, your KYC data, your ID, bank records to prove you're able to pay back the money, that data is going to use one of Midnight's big technology, zero knowledge proofs, to encrypt that data in a way, put it on the blockchain so that people can prove that you're able to pay that loan without actually putting your actual bank records on chain, which is one of the big thing with how Midnight privacy work. It allows you to say, I can prove this is true without showing you the actual answer. So this business, this service is going to let you borrow money, put your KYC data on chain using zero knowledge technology, so your data is still safe with you, but just the proof, it will be put on chain. And then the lenders is going to get that money from people on the blockchain all over the world to give it to you. You're not going to have to worry about that. When you pay back, everybody takes their profit. The lender takes their profit. The person who provided the actual money takes their profit. And I'm excited for that product to come out. It is still heavily being developed. But yes, this is a brand new technology that you can incorporate into your dApp if you're building a dApp right now and you need some privacy features.
So I've heard you talk a lot on money. And this podcast, it's about educating the general public on about incorporating blockchain into their businesses. So apart from just the money bit of it, how can we use Midnight Network in these other business sectors? What is your vision for Midnight Network in these other sectors?
Definitely anywhere you need to prove something. So we can even use Midnight to start distributing, for example, nonprofits distribution out of money or grants and those kinds of things. You can do things like making sure that the money that you...
I'm going to stop you there a bit. I feel like you're still in the same financial bubble.
Oh, like non-financial?
No, in Kenya, the economy is a bit more focused on farming. Like,
yes.
The banks and the financial bit is there, but how can I say it? Like, it's a bigger. The banks and people looking to use money represent a very small part of the pie. We have farmers, we have many other people in the economy, many other professions in the economy. So what do you essentially think about, how can blockchain tap into these areas? Because I'm sure the common mwananchi there might not be working in a bank, might not be a CEO in a bank somewhere, might not be someone in a fintech. It's just a local farmer there hearing about this great tech and wondering, okay, how can this actually help me?
For Midnight specifically, the thing is going for is privacy. And I think that's why money tends to come up, because people want to not expose how much they have. And especially with blockchain, where you trade with each other, and usually when that happens, you can see the person's balance. Suddenly, if a person has 1 million shillings, they might become a target. Right, so it tends to come up a lot of privacy, because people want to hide how much they have and not expose that to the world. But also identity, you can use it for identity. So the big feature that's new is this rational privacy. It's big, anywhere privacy is needed. So things like medical records, you can even prove, for example, that you've taken a vaccine because your government requires you to, without saying where you got the vaccine. Like anything really around, some data needs to be public, some data needs to be private. Midnight is very good for that. Even payroll, I know that's money again, payroll services. But again, your colleagues cannot know how much you've made, right? But you can prove that you've gotten paid. Identity, if you need to have identity data be attached to something, house records, car records, any of those things where you need to say that this person owns or has access or has authority to this thing, to be able to prove that without sharing any data about the person, or in some cases even the thing, right? It's what is really, really good at. So if people are building like ID login systems, even things like different like accreditation and things you might get online, either through like even something silly like video games, right? You could you could store that the person has achieved specific things in a video game without, for example, showing anything about maybe the player or what city, anything really that you want to be private, but still prove somehow that in the case of the video game, maybe you want to join a tournament, right? And only people from a certain city can join that tournament. Same thing, city can be private, but you can still prove without exposing to the world what city you're from, and enter the tournament. So any of those kinds of use cases, Midnight is really good for.
Interesting. You are doing a lot, and you mentioned you are a leader of Midnight.
Force leader.
Yeah, Night Force leader. I also know you personally as a Cardano ambassador. So you have a lot of opportunities for young people watching right now. So, share some of the opportunities that you can present to our viewers.
Yeah, so Midnight is new in Kenya, lots of opportunities. Definitely you can join the Night Force. There's lots of fun stuff to do online. Some of not many at the moment, but sometimes there are paid activities you can do through the Night Force program and earn money. Definitely follow the Blockchain Center events page for all the events that are happening here. And Midnight and Cardano is actually quite very close. Midnight launched Cardano as the first network that you can go from Midnight and Cardano back and forth. So a lot of Cardano apps can now use Midnight. Midnight will be adding other blockchains after here, but Cardano is the first chain they've started with, because Midnight and Cardano were both built by import-output Mr. Charles Hoskinson. So same dev house, same researchers, same brilliant people. So if you're in the Cardano community, this is an opportunity to participate in the Midnight community as well, because they're currently very, very close. So you don't have to limit yourself to Project Catalyst or what's happening with Intersect open source programs. Midnight is a whole new blockchain, whole new set of opportunities for you to look into. And that starts with going to Blockchain Center, nbo.com/events, and joining us at the next Midnight event.
Awesome. Pleasure having you here. I'm sure our guests have found a few gems and a few, opportunities to chase. So thank you guys for tuning, and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for having me, Charles. I had a lot of fun. See you at the next one.